Hey everybody, it's Jim with Triple J Bricks. Welcome back to the Lego Room for another video. Today we have a building project to do, kind of our first real building project on this channel, and that is to build a MILS plate. We are going to build my first ever MILS plate for my first ever modular building. This is Assembly Square. This set is probably going to be retiring this year in 2023. This was a gift. This was funded on Throne via our beautiful, beautiful stream community over on Twitch. And so we will be building this live on Twitch very, very soon, if not already by the time this video comes out. But before we do that, I wanted to make sure we built a MILS plate because this is built on a 32 by 32 and a 16 by 32 floppy base plate. And so I thought it would be a great opportunity to do my first ever MILS plating. MILS stands for Modular Integrated Landscaping System. It allows you to create a much more rigid surface to build your buildings on, and also allows you to sort of connect them all up with the integrated system that is part of it. I've never built a MILS plate. I've watched a couple videos on it. I am no expert, but we're going to do that today. And so I'm going to need some parts. We're going to have to get some parts down there. Yeah, this is still here. I have not finished. It's thinner than you saw it last time. It is. It is thinner, but I need to... Yeah, some more. I gotta do that. So let's get started with our first ever MILS plate. First thing we have to do though is open the box and get the base plates out. The seals on this were kind of already coming off. This one I had ripped, which isn't. I mean, I suppose I should be cutting these, but I think this one is also kind of floppy. Oh, maybe I should cut this one. Cut. Okay. Let's open up the box. Oh. Okay, what do we got in here? We have another box inside of the box. But what am I looking for? Oh my gosh. Okay, we need this. I need this. And I don't need that. But I do need... Where's the other plate? The smaller plate's probably in this box, which I know it's not the actual box, but I really hate the tabby things. It's also really hard to do with one hand. Just okay. You in here? Small base plate. Got it. Okay. That's step one. Step two is to go to the instructions and to see what is all being covered on this base plate. And it looks like all of it, which I pretty much assumed. That means that whatever plating we use to top our MILS plate can be pretty much any colored plate, kind of just whatever we have around, because that's going to get covered up by tile anyway. So that is fantastic. Again, if you look in the instructions here, you can see that this is just like we're putting this tile down. And again, these base plates are fine, but the problem is they're floppy, right? So if we build this just on here, you can see we're starting to tile this up. This is all now connected via just these like tiles. And so, I mean, I haven't picked up an Assembly Square set, but I would assume that if you put these together on these floppy base plates, that they are going to be pretty flimsy when you try to pick up the whole model. And so what I would rather do is two reasons for the MILS plating. It's kind of future-proofing in case we want to attach two modular buildings in the future together. And the other reason is that it's just such a better rigid structure to start building a set off of. Okay, here I have my plate bin. This will be probably really hard with one hand. But one of the great things about this plate is down here, these two 16 by 16 plates that I picked up during the yard sale, I think will come in really, really handy to cover these up, because it doesn't matter what the color of these are. So we can probably put these in the center, and this gives us a huge range, so we don't have to use like tons and tons of smaller plate. But I'm gonna look through this and determine if I want to just start using some of this colored plate that I have, or I think I'm gonna probably grab some of this gray as well. Next, we're gonna need bricks, 2x bricks to be exact. So this is my 2x brick bin. I'll probably end up using some of these grays, and yeah, probably just some of these like random colored ones. We have a ton, like I definitely have enough. It's gonna be just kind of come down to how much of each color I would like to use. I don't anticipate us needing a lot of like red brick for future projects. So I'm just gonna grab kind of a whole swath of these and we'll get building. Last thing we're gonna need for the MILS plating is 8 of these 1x4 Technic bricks. Okay, so I think I have most of what I'm gonna need, but we'll probably end up having to grab some more things. What I'm gonna do, I think, is I'm going to drop gray bricks as much as possible on the outside of the modular system, because there's the sidewalk that runs in front of the modular building and it's all like this concrete. And so basically we're just gonna be creating sort of a curb essentially, and the curb is gonna be made of concrete. So I want to use gray bricks, I think, for that. So I think I might kind of change up how the modular buildings are made and just line the entire outside, because all of this is going to be visible from the side, right? So this is going to sit on top of this plate. I'm sorry, the plate is going to sit on top of these bricks and basically just create that really sound structure. But I think I want to do it all the way around. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I don't think there's a really hard and fast rule for how it ends up working. I think you just have to kind of make it work. So let's just get started building. Okay, so I have reoriented the base plates to be how they are going to be built from the front to the back. And so I have some of these like a little bit more yellowed gray bricks, and so I'm gonna use those along the back side because we're not gonna see that as much, and I think that's gonna be okay, because also it's gonna be under a plate, so you're really not gonna be able to notice too big of a difference. But I'm gonna use that for some of these longer bricks. I hope I have enough of these, and I also don't want to use up too many of the longer bricks if I ever need these for a future build. I have no idea what sets these came from, but they could just be bulk Lego that I picked up. They also could be some of my old sets. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so I have the first layer down. And again, normally in a MILS plating, you don't actually have to or probably need to. This is completely for aesthetic purposes on my end. You do not need to surround the entire border. You can leave gaps in between, as long as you just don't leave too many gaps where the plate, has like a weak point. So you don't need to do it like this. But part of the MILS plating is putting these Technic bricks in, and you don't also have to do those either. There's really not a whole lot of hard and fast rules when it comes to MILS plating, it seems. But these are useful in case you do want to connect them up later from any edge to another building with Technic pins or whatever. It's just sort of, again, kind of future-proofing it. So I'm going to start to pop some more bricks in because I can't do this math, and it's freaking me out a little bit. So we're just going to start doing this. I'm going to start testing out where these plates can drop down. So I've decided to go with red and yellow for the interior. I have tons of other kinds of bricks, but I'm going to see how far I can get with these. I do have a lot of red block, and also, a little homage to the Lego colors. And I don't anticipate us needing tons and tons of red brick or tons of yellow brick in any of the future projects we might be working on. Okay, so we have the red section in first. So essentially what you want to do is you want to leave just two spaces, two studs, in between each of these blocks, because the smallest plate that you'll use, and generally it's easier if you use the same type of plate for the whole thing. I'm not going to do that. We're going to kind of wing it and see what ends up happening. But essentially, because if you're going to use a 4x4 plate to cover, you want all of the corners to hit on a block. You don't want there to be overhang. You can do that. Again, this is all, there's not like an exact science behind this. I think it really just depends on how you can make it work, and the best way to do it. And so this is my first time doing it, so I'm half winging it, and we're just gonna keep putting some more block down. So I'm gonna start putting the yellow block down now. I also just wanted to stop and point out, I didn't math any of this, and maybe this is just how the math would have turned out anyway, but this is where the split is between the 32x32 and then the 16x32, and the two blocks, because I was thinking I'm going to have to put in maybe a strip here just to sort of, you know, further try to strengthen the connection between these two base plates, but these are overlapping by one each, and I think that's going to be enough considering there's all those on there. So looking good so far. The block work is done. I ended up using one row of blue just because I was running out of yellow and I knew I would need some yellow bricks probably for anything future project wise. So I decided to just throw in one strip of blue here. But now we are ready to plate this. And so what I'm going to do first is I want to drop down these two 16x16 plates, but I need to figure out the best position for them, and I think it's this, because then as you can see they are all their corners are sitting on top. So hopefully I have additional plate that works. So I'm going to start to look for some of this and figure out where we're at with it. Okay, here it is. The finished MILS plate. I had all this plate over here and I got it all squared away. I figured it all out. I had exactly what I needed, and boy, it was tough to push all these down. I need like one of those Lego hammers or something. But my goodness, this was actually really fun to build. Very satisfying to just sort of like lay brick and plate. It is strong. It is so strong. My goodness. I love that we had these two 16 by 16 plates. So again, the reason I wanted to use the gray plate on the outside is because I want to make sure that we have sort of this, like, you know, this is going to be the concrete base for the modular building. And so, and like the curb and things. So I want to make sure that that gray plate was shown on the outside, but really, realistically, we could have used anything on the inside because all of this is going to get covered by the tiles and different things. So, but this is a really great start. It's so strong. I feel like I could lift anything off of this. I mean, it's like a strong platter to lay your model on. I'm so excited. And it's so cool. We built our first ever MILS plate. I'm so stoked about it. Man, that is awesome. It is parts intensive, you know, like you don't actually need to do, like I said, you don't need to do the bricks, you know, up against each other like this. You can leave gaps in between like we did underneath, but it's, you know, it takes a little bit of plate, takes some bricks. You got to have the base plates, of course, but man, it feels worth it already. Like I'm so excited to start building Assembly Square on top of this just really strong base. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for this video. We have our MILS plate. I'm so stoked about it. It's so awesome. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I know it's not like that sexy of a build, but it was really a lot of fun to just put these pieces together and build something with all of you on this channel. It's so very exciting. But anyway, if you want to catch this live build, it's probably going to be 3 to 4 streams depending on how long it takes when this video comes out. We will probably be in the process of it, so you can either catch a VOD over on twitch.tv/jjamgym or catch us live sometime and come along and watch the live build. But everybody, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you in the next one, but until then, keep on building. Jim out!